Let's do this. Target neutralized. Beautiful. Clear! He's down. He's down. Target neutralized.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Brandy Boy, back at it again with another Fallout 4 video. And for this video, I'm going to cover my top 5 favorite pistol mods. In case you're wondering what a pistol is exactly, they're small, compact firearms that can easily be held in one hand, but I still recommend using both hands. To specify further, pistols don't have stocks, and they lack forearms or forward grips. So there's only one point of contact, which is on the handle of course. And inside that handle is the magwell. There may be some exceptions when modifications are added, but I think we can all recognize a pistol when we see one. As you can see here, I'm using the vanilla deliverer pistol, which is known as the Walther PPK in real life. But you may notice that the animations look way better, and that's from a mod called Battlefield 1 Animation Pack, Deliverer. I really like the changes added in by this mod. It makes the PPK feel a lot more nimble, like it should. It is a really tiny pistol after all, and I just think it's a must-have mod at this point. But besides that, I'll go ahead and move on to the top 5 list, which adds in new weapons to the game. So for the number 5 spot, this one's more of a hand cannon than a handgun really. This is the Desert Eagle by Nova Finch. Overall, the weapon looks absolutely fantastic, and right here are some of the combinations you can craft. I especially like the custom camos. They are quite the sight to see. My only gripe is that the magazine is visible in the view model by default, so it'll have some clipping issues in third person. If you want, you could pick up an optional mod, which makes it invisible, but that means it'll be invisible in first person as well. Other than that, it works fine in first person without any changes, which is all I care about for gameplay purposes. And those first person animations are definitely top tier. I also really like the unique variants you can find, which are scattered around the map. They are quite the joy to uncover, but you can also get the regular version as a rare drop from enemies, or you can just craft it from the chem station. You'll also notice that the mod adds in a new ammo type, the 50 Action Express, which can also be crafted at the chem station. At the workbench, you can rechamber the gun to use 44, and attach on some other neat modifications. You can even add on a red dot sight and a laser, along with a suppressor, so you can act like Nook from Rainbow Six Siege. So I'm sure many of us are familiar with this gun. It's rather popular in movies and video games, and I think the reason for that is because it looks badass, and it's rather intimidating. But in real life, it's not such a practical firearm, because it's simply overkill. It's just too unwieldy for most people to use comfortably. The Desert Eagle is an Israeli-made weapon that was first produced way back in 1983, and it was designed to use the newly made 50 caliber Action Express, which is the largest cartridge for any semi-automatic pistol. But they also have parts to easily convert the gun for the more common 44 Magnum round. Either way, both of these bullets are pretty dang big, so it packs a punch to say the least. But it can also punch you right back in the nose. What I mean is, the recoil is quite the beast to tame. But if you're a skillful gunslinger, then you'll be able to use it to its fullest potential. It's certainly a blast to use too, so whenever I need a powerful sidearm for taking down big mutants, the Desert Eagle is my go-to. Overall, this is a well-made mod, and it's easily my favorite high-caliber handgun, so I just had to put it on this list. For the next spot though, this one is a bit more modest. In the number 4 spot is the P226. To be honest, I'm not quite sure who authored this mod. I downloaded it off a Discord server, and I haven't been able to track down the link again. But if anyone knows, then please let me know. All I know is that the animations are made by Fiddler Green, and those animations are really good. And just like you saw, there's a pretty cool selection of modifications to customize your weapon. You can really deck it out with a red dot sight, laser and flashlight combo, suppressor, extended mag, And there's also some options to change up the material of the slide and the grip independently. And you don't need to worry on how to find this weapon. It'll show up quite often in the leveled list. Anyway, the P226 is a German-made gun from Sieg Sauer. This platform has been in service since the late 70s, but it's evolved over the years and adapted to the modern day. There's plenty of variants of this pistol, which are chambered for all different types of ammunition. 9mm, 10mm, 40 cal, 45 ACP, 357 SIG. It's quite a versatile platform. By default, it'll be using the 10mm in Fallout 4, but I've patched it to use 40 Smith & Wesson. The P22 platform, I guess you could call it that, wasn't all that popular when it first came out. Nowadays though, it's seeing a lot of use by military units in the UK, and US especially, along with plenty of other countries. It's kinda common to see among the citizenry as well. From what I've heard, it's simply a well-made gun. And they look pretty slick as well. In Fallout 4, it's very pleasant to shoot, and I've got no complaints about this mod. Everything about it is high quality. The textures, the sounds, the animations, and even the modification variety. It's one of the best pistols out there, so I'm sorry to say that it's not publicly available. However, there's another great mod which is very similar, and it's on the Nexus website, which is the P220 from Millennia. Along with that, you'll want to pick up the animations from Fiddler Green, which is a separate mod. Like I said, it's very similar to the P226 mod, but there are some slight differences. Either way, they're both great. I just decided to put the P226 in this spot instead, because I like it a little bit more. Coming in at third place is the direct rival to the P22 pistols. It's the Beretta 92FS, and this one is made by Fading Signal. What's really neat about this mod are the unique variants, which all have camos based on the major factions in Fallout 4, along with one that's got a Nuka World theme. The mod itself doesn't come with any custom animations, so I'd recommend picking up some from the guy I mentioned a couple times already, Fiddler Green. Just like his other pistol animations, these are superb, and they fit the weapon really well. But there's another animation pack too, from Zestoff Lemon, the guy who does the Battlefield animations. Between these two, it's hard to choose which is better. They're both high quality for sure, so I guess it just depends on your personal taste. But moving on to the workbench over here, it's got a fair amount of attachments to craft. You can slap on a red dot, a suppressor or compensator, a laser and flashlight combo, and extend the magazine to a whopping 30 rounds. And there's also some options to change up the material of the handle and receiver. The 92FS is an Italian-made weapon, from Beretta of course, and it's most commonly chambered in 9mm, but by default it'll be using 10mm in-game. Anyway, it was first made in the 1970s, and like I mentioned earlier, it was a direct competitor against the P22 series. When it came to military trials in the US, the Beretta squeaked out as the winner, because it was cheaper to manufacture, but both are great pistols on their own right. Because of that victory, the Beretta 92 dominated as the main sidearm for most of the US military for a couple decades. It deserved it though. It's got great performance, along with that iconic look that we all recognize from the movies. Here in Fallout, it's even better, and it's quite the handy handgun to have. With either set of animations, it runs buttery smooth, so it's just a joy to shoot with. And the gun looks good while doing it. The Beretta 92 is simply a beautiful gun, and this mod certainly does it justice. It's one of my favorite pistol mods, so it easily gets a top 3 spot in my list. For the runner-up, at second place, this one really stands out from the crowd. This is the USP-45 from 2NX. It's not just the gun though, it comes with a tack knife too, which is used for your melee animation, and all the animations are pretty bombastic, especially that equip animation. The mod even comes with a configuration menu, which is extremely unique for a gun mod, but you'll see why. This is where you can change up the stabbing animation for the knife, and you can also choose between a selection of knives to use. You'll notice up top that there's an option to manage how much damage it does, but if you just leave it alone, Your knife will go stronger with each kill you get. Not only that, but you can also set a hotkey which allows you to quickly screw on a suppressor while out in the field. The animation is pretty sweet, but there's no animation to unequip the suppressor. Really, the only downside about this mod is that it's not included in the leveled list at all. You'll have to craft it from the chem station, but I guess that makes you a special snowflake since you're the only kid in town with a USP-45. Anyway, when it comes to the attachments, there's a good amount here. There's several camos to choose from, and you can attach a red dot sight, a laser and a flashlight, as well as a suppressor of course, but there's no extended mags available. The USP-45 is a .45 caliber German-made pistol from Heckler & Koch, which began production in the 1990s. There's also the Mark 23, which is almost the same gun, but just slightly different. Both have been adopted all around the world, and they've seen plenty of use from special forces and police units, and it's a favorite of Task Force 141. It's got a reputation for being rugged, and it hits a bit harder than other pistols with that .45 caliber ammunition. What's unique about it is that the standard magazine holds 12 rounds, which is a bit more when compared to other .45 caliber pistols, which usually only hold 8. It's not a huge difference, but that reason played a role in getting countries to adopt it. It's gained a fair amount of popularity in media as well, most notably Modern Warfare 2, which is where the mod author got the inspiration for this mod. In case you didn't know, Modern Warfare 2 had a tack knife attachment you can unlock for every handgun, which is one of the only games I've seen do so I'm glad to see it here in Fallout 4 now. All the unique mechanics about this mod really make it shine, and those dramatic animations just seal the deal. It's definitely one of the greatest pistol mods ever made for Fallout 4, and I would consider it the most revolutionary for sure. For first place though, this one doesn't reinvent the wheel, but every aspect about it is flawless. The number 1 spot, the award for the best pistol mod in Fallout, belongs to the Glock 19X from FX0X01. This weapon is absolutely stunning. I dare say, it's the highest quality pistol I've ever laid my eyes on. No matter how far you zoom in, you still can't count the pixels. To complement the textures, the animations are also the best out there. In my opinion, of course. Taking it to the workbench allows you to craft a whole bunch of attachments for it. There's extended magazines all the way up to a 50-round drum, 2 suppressors, a compensator, a custom grip, some red dot sights, lasers and flashlights, some different color schemes, and there's even an option to make it fully automatic, as you just saw earlier. Whenever you install the mod, you'll get some options to decide how it's integrated into the leveled list, and I recommend you choose the option that lets it spawn in on everyone. It's a really high quality mod after all, so it'd be nice to see it out in the world very often. So I'm sure many of us recognize this pistol. It's currently one of the most popular sidearms in the US, and it's common to see it as an everyday carry for many citizens. But the gun originated from Austria, where it was designed by Gatz and Glock in 1979. Since then, it's seen plenty of service throughout the decades. The most common variants you'll see are the 9mm and the .45 ACP, but it's got other models which are chambered for lots of other common ammo types. The one you see here is chambered in 9mm in real life, but in game it'll use the 10mm by default. Anyway, this is easily my favorite pistol mod currently for Fallout 4. The animations are top notch, and as you may have noticed, they're based on the Modern Warfare 2019 animations, but I think they're even better. But yeah, those crisp animations make it way too fun to shoot, and I love using the full auto version so I can shred up people with a dozen rounds of 9mm in the blink of an eye. But the semi-auto version works just fine for getting those precise headshots when you're just sneaking around. Either way, it's a smooth operator, and a very handsome one too. There's really no weaknesses about this mod. Every aspect from the textures to the sounds are near perfect. It'll be hard to top this one. But for now, I had no choice. This is the best pistol mod in Fallout 4 currently. Well, that's all I got to say for now. I hope you'll like this list, and like the video too. If you did, go ahead and annihilate that like button, and subscribe if you want to see more Fallout videos like this one. With all of that out of the way, I'm done for now, and I'll see y'all next time.